Well, hello, dear ones. My name is Reverend Robert Brzezinski, and I'm your host today on the Inner Alchemy program. Normally, this screen is shared by my dear friend, Dr. John Michael Salvato, and as many of you know, he underwent some heart surgery earlier this week. And so we've given him the week off, told him to stay home and in bed. Trust his partner, Craig, is making that happen. However, knowing our friend Dr. John Michael, he may not be taking it easy and may not be resting. So I'm going to encourage you that please send him your prayers and your great wishes, and know that he is returning to that state of his body temple returns to that state of wholeness right here and now. So. And with that, I'd like to just share briefly, and if anyone else decides to join us on this today, we'll do so. But I would like to share briefly and bring a little bit to this discussion that's been ongoing. The Inner Alchemy program is an opportunity on Fridays for Dr. John Michael and I to step away from some of the normal roles that we play and the normal ways that we support people through various teams, through various businesses, and to come together and have a little bit more of a discussion in regards to how business and spirituality are coming together. And today what I'd like to talk about is the power of our own mind to create a portion of the life we truly desire. Now, I say a portion because it takes quite a bit of clarity to get to the point of knowing exactly what it is that I desire and the life I truly desire. So I use a number of different processes to get there. But one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and one of the things I really want you to think about today, is the differences between expectations and expectancies. Now, for many years, I have taught that expectations are premeditated resentments. If you think about it, expectations are generally tied to a specific person. I want you to ask yourself a question. Think about it for a moment. Who takes out the garbage in your household? Now, if you are the only one in your household, then there may not be an expectation around when that garbage gets taken out or who takes it out, obviously, if you're the only person in your household. However, if you're in a household with a couple of kids or a husband or a wife or a partner of some sort or someone else that's sharing in those duties, have you created an expectation as to when, how, and by what method someone takes out the garbage? If so, and that expectation is not met, let's say that person forgets one morning or has a different way of trying to do the project and take out the garbage. Well, if that creates upset, that's the resentment. And so if someone doesn't do something according to your expectations, realistically, the only vibration that can come through is resentment. Why didn't they take the garbage out? How come he took the garbage out that way? When we live from an expectancy, now an expectancy is more along the lines of allowing what is to be what is. And so when we live according to an expectancy that the garbage gets taken out, and the garbage gets taken out on time before the garbage gets picked up, then we're living in the moment. I had a great experience of this recently. We've been, with our move back to Colorado here, my family and I are settling into new routines. And as the children get older, this is actually our topic: who takes out the garbage? Now, it isn't so much who takes the garbage from the house out to the cans in our driveway. It's how those cans get out onto the curb on the right day. And we do recycling every other week, and our trash is picked up every week. So every Tuesday morning, one of those cans goes out, and every other Tuesday, the other one goes out. My expectancy is that my trash and my recycling are picked up by the company I pay to pick them up on the day that I pick them up. An expectation would be, that my son has to do it before he goes to school, or that it's too much trouble for me to do it, or that it has to happen at exactly 7 o'clock in the morning. Reality is my trash guys don't come by until at least 2, 2:30, or at the end of their day. It doesn't have to be out at 7. My son doesn't have to put it out, but it has to be put out. So the expectancy is that my need is met. So let's take this to another level. Let's look at some other aspects of our lives, perhaps our business. Maybe you had an expectation that you would have enrolled a certain number of people into your primary business at this point. Maybe you had an expectation that a specific person was going to sign up at a specific time, or that a company would contract you to provide a service. All of these expectations just lead us to down a road that leads to resentment if something happens or changes. Perhaps the company ordered a few less of our product. Perhaps someone we anticipated signing up that was very excited disappeared into the ethers and was never to be heard from again. That happens quite a bit in some of my businesses. And then there's the expectancy that my business grows, that the people that get it, the people that can understand what it is I share, the people that understand the perspective that I look at life through. When I have an expectancy that those people will show up, then they do. Now, sometimes they do in faces and names I've never met. Even through this program here alone, I have met people that I never knew, that never knew me, and we've become clients of each other. That happens all the time. The connections that are made are the connections that are made because I come from an expectancy that my good is always as close as the very next breath. I live from that place of expectancy, knowing my good, knowing all the resources necessary for my mission on this planet come to me exactly as they are necessary. And so if someone says, yes, I'm in, let's go, let's get started, and I never hear from them again, I know that too is perfect. Because I know that too is a place where the expectation of enrollment or their expectation of me would not have aligned, would not have been a beneficial relationship. And so it didn't happen. And it's not for me to get all upset and indignant because you didn't do something. It's for me to be able to see that there's something better emerging here. That wasn't the right partnership. It would never have worked in the long run. And so I go back to the place of simply being in an expectancy that there's more good coming, that the right people are right around the corner, that I am going to meet today another new person that serves and supports my life. And I just want to say that as I look over at the clock on my computer, I see double digits, 1111, which means life is good, life is abundant. We are all prosperous, and there's something magnificent happening in this for everyone. No matter what the experience, no matter what the expectation, no matter what the anticipation of what this day was to be, could have been, what should have been, all of that is released. And in this moment, I know there is nothing but absolute abundance, prosperity. All the good in my life is coming to me right now. And as that clock clicks over to 11:12, I know life is good. And I am grateful. And so it is. That's what I call a 1-minute miracle. That's what I call a 1-minute affirmation of a truth that's happening. So how do we gain clarity on what it is we expect and where our expectations lie? Realistically, if we find ourselves relying on anyone other than ourselves, that's an expectation. Even when I am paying someone to complete a project, where some might say, but it's realistic to expect the work to be done on time. Anytime we put our good and we put our expectations on another, we are setting ourselves and them up. We're setting ourselves up to either be excited or be let down. And we're setting them up for either our praise or our judgment when things do or don't go our way. I don't feel that's a very healthy way to do business. I don't feel that's a very healthy way to do life. And so what I encourage this day of all days, of every day, what I encourage is step forward from a place of knowing, from a consciousness of expectancy that says all my needs are met, all my good is out there and available for me right now, and I am stepping into that and I am claiming that good. I could care less how it shows up. Not worried who provides the resources or in what avenue the resources get to me. I'm in no way concerned as whether you do anything you say you will or not. Now, I encourage you to do what you say you will, but I don't live in an expectation of anything other than my good. And I know the source of that as this power called God. I know that resides within me. So I can have expectations of myself, and I do set expectations for myself, for my own behaviors, for my own commitments, for when I deliver on projects, for how I conduct my business, for timeliness of phone calls. All of those things, I set those for myself, but I can never set those on another. That's a premeditated resentment. That's a premeditated judgment. And from that, then I can live in that place of knowing that whatever's happening right now is exactly what's supposed to happen. The people that were meant to be on this call were, and the people that were meant not to be were not. Everything's happening exactly as it must. Everything's happening exactly as it must for the highest and the best of your life, of my life, of all life. Everything's happening exactly as it must to bring forward that vision, to bring forward the resources and the people and the opportunities necessary to create the vision of the life you desire, the life you really desire. So as you go forth today, as you go out into the world today, continually be asking yourself, am I living in the moment of knowing that what's happening right now is a fulfillment of my expectation, that my good always comes to me? Or am I creating a resentment by claiming that others, by putting my good in the hands of others, by making my worth, my success dependent upon others' activities, behaviors, or thoughts? Expectation, separation, expectancy, oneness. Again, my name is Robert Brzezinski. This has been an abbreviated version of our Inner Alchemy program. Again, I invite you to come back and join us again next week when Dr. John Michael will be back with us, and we'll have a more intimate conversation. It's always a lot more fun when the two of us get to bounce things off of each other. But I did want to create something today for everyone, something that everyone can get a bit of inspiration and keep our Friday practice going with Inner Alchemy. So please know I am absolutely in service to your vision. I'm here for you. You're welcome to reach out and contact me. Email is robert@spiritevolving.com. And you can find me on Facebook at Robert Presents, Facebook.com/Robert BRZ is my official URL on Facebook. You can find me there as well. But until next time, peace and blessings. Love you, dear ones. Bye now.